The hotel suite in downtown Manhattan smelled of fresh lilies and champagne, the kind of luxury that screamed new beginnings. Sammy stood by the window, his tie loosened, watching the city lights pulse like a heartbeat below, while Jordan, his new husband, poured 2 glasses with a grin that could melt steel. But as Jordan turned, unbuttoning his shirt with that effortless charm, Sammy's hand froze mid-reach, his world tilting on its axis when he saw the scars, subtle, surgical lines that told a story Jordan had never shared. Sammy had met Jordan 2 years earlier at a bustling coffee shop in Brooklyn, where the morning rush turned chaotic after a spilled latte soaked Sammy's laptop. Jordan, with his sharp jawline and easy laugh, swooped in like a hero from a rom-com, offering napkins and an apology even though it wasn't his fault. "Let me buy you another," Jordan said, his voice warm like aged whiskey, and from that moment, Sammy was hooked. Their first date was at a rooftop bar overlooking the East River, where they talked until the stars faded, sharing dreams of building a life free from the judgments that had scarred their pasts. Sammy from a conservative family in Texas, Jordan from a vague Midwestern upbringing he rarely detailed. As weeks turned to months, their bond deepened. Jordan was everything Sammy had ever wanted. Ambitious, kind, with a sense of humor that cut through Sammy's insecurities like a knife through butter. They moved in together after 6 months, into a cozy apartment in Greenwich Village, where lazy Sundays involved brunch and walks in Washington Square Park. Sammy proposed on a crisp autumn evening, down on one knee under the arch, Jordan's eyes shimmering with tears as he said yes. The wedding was a small affair, friends from the city, a few reluctant relatives, but it felt perfect until now. In the suite, Jordan's shirt slipped off his shoulders, revealing the binder underneath. And then, as he hesitated, the truth unraveled. "Sammy, I should have told you sooner," Jordan whispered, his perfect smile faltering for the first time. Sammy stepped back, his mind racing. He loved Jordan, the man who made him laugh, who supported his career as a graphic designer, who dreamed of adopting kids someday. But this? Jordan was transgender, a fact buried under layers of trust and omission. "Why didn't you say anything?" Sammy's voice cracked, the room spinning as betrayal mixed with confusion. The night blurred into arguments whispered harshly to avoid waking the hotel guests. Jordan explained his journey, the dysphoria that had plagued him since childhood, the hormones he'd been on for years, the top surgery that left those scars. He'd wanted to tell Sammy, but fear had held him back. Fear of rejection, of losing the one person who saw him as whole. Sammy paced, his Texas roots surfacing in waves of doubt. His family had barely accepted his sexuality. How would they handle this? Society's whispers echoed in his head. Transphobia in the media, debates over bathrooms and sports that made headlines daily. Was their marriage built on a lie? By dawn, they sat on the bed, exhausted. Jordan reached for Sammy's hand. "I am the man you married. This doesn't change that." But Sammy pulled away, needing space. He grabbed his coat and left the suite, wandering the empty streets of Manhattan as the sun rose, his phone buzzing with congratulatory messages he couldn't bear to read. Back home that week, the apartment felt like a battlefield. Friends noticed the tension at post-wedding brunches, but Sammy kept silent, torn between love and the societal norms drilled into him. Jordan tried to bridge the gap, cooking Sammy's favorite meals, leaving notes of apology. "I thought our love was enough," one read. But Sammy's mind churned with questions. Had Jordan deceived him intentionally? In a world where LGBTQ+ rights were progressing yet fraught with backlash, was transparency non-negotiable? He confided in his best friend, Mia, over coffee. "It's not about him being trans," Sammy said. "It's about the secret." Mia nodded, but her eyes held judgment. "Love isn't about perfection, Sammy. It's about acceptance." As days passed, external pressures mounted. Sammy's mother called from Texas, her voice laced with concern after seeing wedding photos online. "He seems too perfect," she said, unknowingly hitting the nerve. Jordan faced his own demons, attending support groups where stories of rejection mirrored his fears. One evening, they clashed again. "You act like I'm a monster," Jordan shouted, I'm the same person, Sammy fired back. But you hid who you are. The fight ended in tears, with Jordan storming out. In the quiet aftermath, Sammy reflected on their shared moments. The way Jordan's hand fit perfectly in his, the late-night talks about future travels. Was he willing to let society dictate his heart? The conflict brewed, setting the stage for deeper revelations. Weeks after the wedding, Sammy found himself scrolling through online forums late at night, the glow of his laptop illuminating the dark apartment while Jordan slept fitfully in the guest room. Threads about transgender partners filled his screen, stories of acceptance mingled with tales of heartbreak, each one stirring a storm in his chest. He loved Jordan, but the weight of unspoken truths pressed down, making every touch feel like a question mark. Work became Sammy's escape. At the design firm in Midtown, he buried himself in projects, sketching logos that symbolized unity while his own life fractured. Colleagues noticed his distraction. One, a straight ally named Tom, pulled him aside. "Marriage blues?" Tom asked with a knowing smile. Sammy hesitated, then spilled a sanitized version. "We had a fight about secrets." Tom clapped him on the back. "Communication is key, man. Fix it before it's too late." Jordan, meanwhile, threw himself into his job as a marketing consultant, pitching campaigns that celebrated diversity. But at home, the silence was deafening. They tiptoed around each other, meals eaten separately, conversations reduced to logistics. One night, Jordan broke the ice. "We need to talk," he said, setting down a cup of tea. Sammy nodded, his heart pounding. Jordan opened up about his past. Growing up in Ohio, feeling trapped in the wrong body, the relief of transitioning in college. "I didn't tell you because I finally felt normal with you," he admitted, tears streaming. "I didn't want to be defined by it." Sammy listened, empathy warring with resentment. "But marriage means no secrets," he replied softly. They held each other that night, a tentative truce, but the undercurrent of doubt lingered. Society's gaze intensified when they attended a pride event in the city. Friends cheered their union, but whispers followed, rumors sparked by Sammy's distant demeanor. An acquaintance cornered Jordan. "Is everything okay? Sammy seems off." Jordan forced a smile, but inside, he crumbled. The first major conflict erupted at a family dinner. Sammy's sister, visiting from Texas, sensed the tension. "Over roast chicken," she probed. "You two are so cute together. Any plans for kids?" Jordan glanced at Sammy, who stiffened. Later, alone, Sammy confessed his fears. "What if we adopt and my family finds out about you? They'll disown me." Jordan's face hardened. "So, I'm the problem? Not their bigotry." The argument escalated, doors slamming, echoing the societal divides that pitted progress against tradition. In the fallout, Jordan sought solace in therapy, where his counselor urged honesty. Sammy, too, booked sessions grappling with internalized biases. He read books on transgender experiences, articles on LGBTQ+ marriages thriving despite odds. One story hit home. A couple overcoming similar revelations through love and education. Inspired, Sammy planned a weekend getaway to the Hamptons, hoping to rebuild. The drive was tense, radio filling the voids. At the beach house, they walked hand in hand along the shore, waves crashing like their emotions. "I want to understand," Sammy said, stopping to face Jordan. "Tell me everything." Jordan did, detailing the pains of misgendering, the joys of authenticity. As sunset painted the sky, they kissed, a spark reigniting. But back in the city, reality intruded. A work event brought confrontation. Jordan's boss, unaware, made a transphobic joke during a toast. Jordan called him out, earning applause but also backlash online when it went viral. Trolls targeted their marriage, dredging up old photos, questioning Jordan's manhood. Sammy defended him publicly, posting a supportive message, but privately the scrutiny wore him down. "Is this what our life will be?" he asked Jordan one stormy night. Jordan held him close. "Only if we let it define us." Yet, doubts festered. Sammy's mother discovered the online drama, calling in hysterics. What have you gotten into? That man isn't what he seems. Her words echoed Sammy's initial shock, reigniting the flame of uncertainty. He confronted Jordan again. Did you ever think about how this affects me? Jordan's response was sharp. Every day. But love isn't conditional. The tension built toward a breaking point, with friends intervening. Mia hosted a dinner, forcing conversation. You two are meant to be, she said. But as glasses clinked, underlying issues surfaced. Sammy's fear of societal rejection, Jordan's pain from hiding. The night ended in resolve, couples therapy. Their first session was raw, tears flowing as they unpacked layers. The therapist noted, trust rebuilds slowly, but it's possible. As sessions progressed, glimmers of hope emerged. They laughed again, planned dates. But a bombshell loomed. Jordan wanted bottom surgery, a step he delayed for fear of judgment. When he broached it, Sammy's reaction would test everything. The therapist's office in Chelsea became their weekly battleground, a neutral space where words flowed like weapons and shields. Jordan sat rigidly, hands clasped, as he revealed his desire for bottom surgery. It's not about us, he said, eyes pleading with Sammy. It's about me feeling complete. Sammy's face paled, the room thick with unspoken fears. Financial strain, recovery time, and the deeper question. Would this change their intimacy forever? Sammy nodded slowly, processing. I support you, but it's a lot. Outside, New York buzzed indifferently, taxis honking as they walked home in silence. That night, over takeout Chinese, they dissected the idea. Jordan explained the procedure, the waiting lists, the costs not fully covered by insurance. Sammy researched obsessively, forums painting pictures of success and complications. What if something goes wrong? He voiced, vulnerability cracking his voice. Society's lens amplified their dilemma. News cycles debated trans healthcare bans in states like Texas, where Sammy's family resided. His mother emailed articles, her concern veiled in judgment. Think about your future. Sammy deleted them, but the seeds of doubt sprouted. At a support group for partners of trans individuals, Sammy shared anonymously. I love him, but the changes scare me. Others nodded, stories of growth inspiring him. Jordan faced his own hurdles. At work, promotion rumors swirled, but whispers about his transition leaked, courtesy of a disgruntled colleague. He confronted HR, demanding action, but the stress mounted. One evening, he came home defeated. They see me as a liability. Sammy pulled him into an embrace, whispering, You're my strength. In that moment, their bond flickered stronger. Yet, conflicts arose from unexpected quarters. A mutual friend, Liam, hosted a game night where alcohol loosened tongues. So, Jordan, when's the big op? Liam joked insensitively. The room froze. Jordan excused himself, Sammy following. Why didn't you say something? Jordan accused. I was shocked, Sammy defended. The drive home was fraught, accusations flying. You care more about appearances, and you drop bombshells without warning. The fight lingered, leading to separate beds again. Sammy confided in his sister via video call. It's hard, he admitted. She surprised him. Love him for who he is now, not who he was. Her words shifted something, prompting Sammy to apologize. They reconciled with a picnic in Central Park, reminiscing about their first date. We'll face this together, Sammy promised. As Jordan's surgery consultation approached, tensions peaked. Insurance battles ensued, denials based on elective labels fueling Jordan's anger at systemic biases. This country preaches equality but denies us basics, he ranted. Sammy advocated, calling representatives, joining protests. Their activism bonded them, marching in rallies where signs read, trans rights are human rights. Media coverage spotlighted them, a double-edged sword, support from allies, hate from detractors. Online harassment escalated. Doxing attempts forced them to privatize social media, but one troll's message haunts Sammy. Your husband is a fraud. Triggered a meltdown. Is this worth it? Sammy yelled. Jordan, hurt, retorted. If you have to ask, Maybe not. They separated temporarily, Jordan staying with a friend. In solitude, Sammy reflected. He visited a queer history exhibit at the Stonewall Inn, absorbing stories of resilience. A docent shared, "Love in our community has always been revolutionary." Inspired, he wrote Jordan a letter. "Your journey is part of why I love you. Let's fight together." Reunited, they prepared for surgery. Pre-op appointments revealed Jordan's anxieties. "What if you see me differently?" Sammy reassured. "I see you as my husband." The day arrived, Sammy waiting anxiously in the hospital. Hours later, Jordan emerged groggy but smiling. Recovery began at home, Sammy nursing him with patience, their intimacy evolving into deeper emotional connection. Post-surgery, challenges persisted. Physical therapy sessions tested Jordan's resolve, pain mingling with euphoria. Sammy's family learned via a leaked article, his mother disowning him in a heated call. "This is unnatural." The rejection stung, but Sammy stood firm. "He's my family now." Friends rallied, organizing meal trains. Mia confided, "You're stronger for this." As Jordan healed, they planned a vow renewal, symbolizing rebirth. But whispers of resentment bubbled. Sammy's sacrifices, Jordan's secrets. At a therapy session, the therapist probed, "Have you forgiven fully?" The answer hung in the air, setting up the ultimate test. A family reunion where truths would collide. Jordan's recovery stretched into months, the apartment transforming into a sanctuary of pillows and prescriptions, where every groan echoed the price of authenticity. Sammy balanced work with caregiving, brewing herbal teas and massaging sore muscles, his touches tender yet tentative. "You're doing amazing," he'd say, masking his own exhaustion, but late nights brought whispers of resentment. Why hadn't Jordan trusted him sooner? As Jordan regained strength, they ventured out, first to quiet cafes, then bolder outings. A Broadway show marked their return to normalcy, laughter shared over intermission drinks. But society lurked, ready to pounce. At a networking event, a client recognized Jordan from the viral HR incident. "Brave of you to speak up," the man said, but his tone dripped condescension. Jordan smiled politely, but Sammy seethed inside, later venting, "People reduce you to your transition." The comment sparked a deeper conversation. Jordan admitted, "I hid it because I've lost people before." Sammy shared his fears. "I worry about our kids facing bullying." They dreamed of adoption, researching agencies, but applications highlighted biases, questions about stable households feeling like interrogations. One agency rejected them subtly, citing complex family dynamics. Jordan slammed the phone. "This is discrimination." Fueled by injustice, they joined advocacy groups, speaking at panels. Sammy's voice grew confident. "My husband's story is one of courage." Applause followed, but backlash too, death threats via email, forcing police reports. The stress strained their marriage. Arguments flared over safety. "We should lay low," Sammy urged. Jordan countered, "Hiding is what got us here." A turning point came at Sammy's high school reunion in Texas. His mother, thawing slightly, invited them. "Come home," she pleaded. Sammy agreed, hoping for reconciliation. The flight was tense, Jordan fidgeting. At the airport, his mother hugged Sammy stiffly, eyeing Jordan. "Nice to meet you," she said coolly. The reunion buzzed with old friends, but whispers followed. "That's his husband? Heard he's, you know." A former bully cornered Sammy. "Didn't peg you for that type." Sammy defended fiercely. "Love doesn't fit your boxes." Jordan overheard, pride swelling, but dinner at home exploded. His mother grilled Jordan. "So you're transitioned?" Jordan answered calmly, but she pressed, "What about children? Real ones?" The room ignited. Sammy snapped, "He's real, Mom. We're real." She retorted, "This isn't what I raised you for." Jordan left the table, Sammy following. In the guest room, tears flowed. "I can't change her," Sammy said. Jordan held him. "You don't have to choose." But the visit ended in estrangement, his mother refusing goodbye. Back in New York, the rift deepened Sammy's commitment. They pursued adoption vigorously, finding an inclusive agency. Home studies revealed vulnerabilities, Jordan's medical history scrutinized. "Will this affect parenting?" the social worker asked. Jordan bristled. "It makes me more empathetic." As paperwork piled, a scandal hit. A leaked medical record from Jordan's surgery, courtesy of a hacked database. Media pounced, headlines screaming, "Gay couples trans secret exposed." Protests formed outside their building, supporters clashing with haters. Sammy addressed the crowd. "Our love is private, but our rights aren't." The speech went viral, earning allies but exhausting them. In the chaos, intimacy returned slowly, conversations turning to futures. "I want this with you," Jordan said one starry night on their balcony. Sammy proposed renewing vows, "To honor who we are now." Planning brought joy, venue in the village, friends as witnesses. The ceremony approached amid rising tensions. Sammy's sister arrived, supportive, but news of his mother's boycott stung. Jordan's estranged family sent a card, "Proud of you." On the day, under blooming arches, they exchanged rings again. "Through secrets and storms," Sammy vowed. Jordan echoed, "In truth and love." Post-ceremony, celebration turned reflective. Mia toasted, "To overcoming." But as champagne flowed, a guest's comment sparked debate. "Society isn't ready for stories like yours." Arguments ensued. Friends divided on transparency in relationships. The night ended with them alone, dancing slowly. "We've come far," Sammy murmured. Jordan smiled. "But the fight continues." Yet, unresolved threads lingered. Sammy's lingering doubts, Jordan's fears of more revelations. As they looked ahead, the true test loomed. Parenthood amid a divided world. The adoption process crawled forward like a New York traffic jam, paperwork stacking higher than the Empire State Building, each form a reminder of the scrutiny they faced. Jordan pored over profiles of waiting children, his eyes lighting with hope, while Sammy fretted over finances and the ever-present media shadow. "What if they deem us unfit because of my past?" Jordan voiced one evening, vulnerability etching his features. Sammy squeezed his hand. "We're fit because we love." But doubts gnawed. A home visit loomed, the social worker's checklist feeling like a judgment day. They prepped meticulously, child-proofing the apartment, rehearsing answers. The visit went smoothly, the worker nodding approvingly at their story of resilience. "You two have a lot to offer," she said, leaving them buoyant. Yet external forces conspired. A conservative think tank targeted their case in an op-ed. "Trans parents, a risk to children?" Protests reignited, petitions circulating to block their adoption. Jordan testified at a hearing, voice steady, "Identity doesn't define parenting. Love does." Sammy stood beside him, the courtroom a microcosm of America's divides. Cheers from progressives, boos from traditionalists. The backlash hit personally when Sammy's former colleague leaked old emails, twisting words to paint him as conflicted. Social media erupted, "Cancel Sammy" trending. He lost clients, the firm pressuring him to step back. "This is ruining us," Sammy confessed to Jordan, frustration boiling. Jordan, ever the fighter, rallied. "Then we fight harder." Support poured in too, donations for legal fees, celebrities amplifying their story. A documentary crew approached, offering a platform. They agreed, filming raw moments, therapy sessions, quiet dinners, the emotional toll. "This isn't just our fight," Jordan told the camera. "It's for every queer family." As the adoption neared approval, a curveball struck. Jordan's health scare, a post-surgery complication requiring hospitalization. Sammy camped by his bed, fear gripping him. "Don't leave me," he whispered. Jordan recovered, but the incident underscored fragility. "Life's too short for regrets," Jordan said upon discharge. Finally, approval came, a sibling pair, ages 5 and 7, from foster care. Meeting them was magic, the boy's shy smile mirroring Jordan's, the girl's curiosity sparking Sammy's. "Hi, dads," she said tentatively. Tears flowed as they signed, the family complete. But integration brought challenges. The kids adjusted, but school bullies echoed societal biases. Your dad's not a real man. Jordan handled it with grace, educating teachers. Sammy confronted PTA parents spreading rumors. One heated meeting escalated. Our children deserve normal families, a mother shouted. Sammy retorted, normal is overrated. Love is what matters. Home life blossomed amid storms. Bedtime stories became rituals, laughter filling voids. Yet, strains persisted. Sammy's resentment over lost career opportunities. Jordan's guilt over the chaos. In therapy, they unpacked. Do you blame me? Jordan asked. Sammy paused. Sometimes, but I choose you every day. A family vacation to California offered respite, beaches, and Disney easing tensions. Watching the kids play, Jordan turned to Sammy. This is worth everything. Sammy agreed, their hands entwined. Back home, a final confrontation arose. Sammy's mother reached out, remorseful after seeing the documentary. I was wrong, she admitted via video. Reconciliation tentative, she visited, holding her grandchildren awkwardly at first, then warmly. You're a good father, she told Jordan, a bridge mended. As years hinted at passing, kids growing, careers stabilizing, their story inspired others. They authored a book, Beyond the Smile, a journey of love and truth, sharing lessons on transparency and acceptance. In quiet moments, Sammy reflected on that wedding night, the freeze that thawed into deeper love. Jordan's smile, still perfect, now held no secrets. But was Sammy's initial reaction a betrayal of love, or a natural response to deception?